to share an idea with you. Now just think, if we as black people were to get reparation, come on y'all, party! Don't stop now, let's keep on going. We want to get this party started. Everybody in the world has gotten reparation, except black people. And I wonder why. We certainly got the money to do it. The stimulus is our reparation. Okay? So today you see, you might see the flowers, they say. But you see this placard. I want to talk about history. And women, I need to holler at you women. I love you sisters. You know, it used to be a commercial that say, we've come a long way. We may have come a long way, but we got a long way to go. We got to stop treating each other so dogmatic. The man has the key, but we have the door, baby. So we have to start using that whip wisely. And stop treating each other so mean. I mean, damn. I see why Jack don't want to go home, boo. You got to lighten up. See? You got to smile more. Say, hey, baby, how was your day? Even when you don't want to. Yeah. Because we really are under the man, and he should be under God. But check this out. That ain't what I'm here to preach about today. Today I'm here to talk about the struggle and how it continues. You should have gotten a post I wanted to share with you. I am a part of IRA. IRA is a service that works for people like myself who are visually impaired or blind, older people who may lose things and need help, just basic help, computer work and things like that. There's a whole agenda. And I went back and forth with IRA since February. This was supposed to be the year that I got out and did all my stuff, you know, and with certain tools and a team of people to be there. I think we've done well. I've only been doing the internet for a few months, and I'd like to thank everybody who's really made this happen, all of you, because you've joined me on so many occasions, and today I'd like to give you something back. I would like to share an opportunity that Ira shared with me. Like I said, I went back and forth with them. The Black Lives Matters movement is a relevant movement. I really do not want to tell you who to vote for, as I said on yesterday. It's a suggestion. Use your privilege. Voting is really a privilege. And for women, we are in a centennial year of voting. You're in the same case that the blacks. You're under a Voting Rights Act. So I think it's Hey 19, just a coincidence, but it is under the Constitution, I think it's number 19. And what we need to consider is that we have Dr. King. This is what this is all about today. Dr. King's dream. I have a dream. And Dr. King's dream. This is just a side note to make you laugh. I met a guy at the Fox Hills Mall, and he said his name was Martin Luther King. And I was selling art, and I was selling actually a piece to the firefighter that was one of the first responders in the riot. And he walks over and says, "Yeah, Tami Lyn, my name is Martin Luther King," and that was really his name. And he said, "I had a dream," and he wasn't in it, and everybody cracked up. But the guy ended up buying the piece because he was laughing, having such a good time. So you see how, even when they come, he'll hide you. That's what he will do. God will hide you in the secret of his pavilion. Hey, he's done it for me. But getting back to the script, Dr. King was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel. Okay? It has become a museum. Very interesting. Because when I went to Atlanta and I went to Dr. King's home where he grew up, that is a museum as well, I saw my first black person with blue eyes and blonde hair. Blew me away. We were going through the museum. I turned around and looked back. I see a family. This sister had blonde hair, kids, blonde hair, blue eyes. You can't tell me that's not where, you know. But anyway, I was just like blown away to talk to him. Very rich history, and it's a whole history on that. But we are of all kinds, creeds, races. And so what we need to do is to get over ourselves. I don't care if a person wanted to buy 15, they give me a cue. I don't care if they want to buy 15 Cadillacs with the reparation. It is our right as survivors to get that. And like I keep telling you, the ACLU has a reparation package. And we need to get behind it. I know I am. But listen, also speaking on why I said that, is because the IRA team, because we've gone back and forth over the whole blind life movement and the Black Life movement, the BLM, Black Life Matters. And like I was telling them, you know, white people, I have white people that I love and I adore. And I love them no less than I love my black people. But a lot of white people have suggested that they are sick of hearing the Black Life Movement. Okay, you have a choice. You can say turn it off. When you're black, you cannot turn it off. And then I also heard an officer. He was on TV, and he was on one of the cable channels. He said, well, what do the blacks want? Excuse me, officer. We want you to protect and serve. One of the fundamental duties of being a police officer. So we don't want anything less than you want, your mother, your father want, your sister, your brother want. So much for that. We already know, but people hide behind these excuses. And so what I'm saying is we don't need to do that because we already know the truth. The struggle continues, okay? So today what I wanted to share with you is that IRA has an opportunity, like I said, to go to museums. I suggested that they do, and they are doing the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Museum. On that post that I presented, it has all the information. It should have the links, the time, the date, and this is just a heads up. And then I want you to have your kids do it. I'm going to see if my grandchildren can go. You don't even have to go anywhere. Just put it on the phone. Just like if you put Barney and the Wheat Pals and all these other guys on there. Put it on there. And don't forget, put Penelope on there too. Excuse me. You got to be your own children. So check this out. Just to make you laugh, you see a plaque here. I got this plaque, I believe, it's all about the struggle. I got this plaque in 1993. And the reason that I brought up the civil rights issue and the reparation movement is because my boy, Johnny Cochran, I spent a lot of time with Johnny just talking we partied together in Vegas and stuff, but a lot of people thought I met Johnny Cochran through Steve, but I didn't. I knew him from 1993 from Mama Edna. If you read this packet, it says to Tami Lyn. And they thought my name was L-E-N-D. But I love Mama Edna. Mama Edna is a prominent woman. That's Sherelle. Sherelle who sings, that's Sherelle's grandmother. Mama Edna. Mama Edna, and in the city of Watts, California, you know, they had all these years, they had the Watts festivals. And then they have the Watts historical. Edna is very instrumental in building a lot of that legacy. And in 1993, I met her after a show I did in Compton, which was right across the street. And Mama Edna asked me if I would do their 1993 Christmas parade, along with Rory Kaufman. And all of you OGs, y'all know Rory Kaufman. If you straight out from LA, from like Imperial and all of that, you know Rory Kaufman. And Rory was at that time, like myself, an up-and-coming young person, orator in communications. And Rory and I were the orators, and we did the Christmas parade that year. And Johnny Cochran was the Grand Master. So we rolled it. He had his drop top Rolls Royce, it was new to him. Hi. So we had a great day. It was just beautiful. And so the struggle continues. We have to give back. And the reason that I'm saying that is because a lot of musicians right now, I just read the minutes on the meeting. I'm a part of the American Federation of Musicians. And I'm a tambourist, and I'm a vocalist. I am a But I was reading about the orchestras. And of course they're suffering because we can't go out. Musicians, we get our money 3 ways. One way or another, no, I'm kidding. But we either have royalties, performance, or those hit records. And so that's why I'm out here, promoting mine, just like everybody else. There is no big I, little me, no way. Everybody's on the same level. So what they were saying was how we have to get the legislation to work for us. And I believe that. And I'm a part of the AFL-CIO, and like I said, the American Federation of Musicians. And one thing that I would like to ask you all is to say a prayer for us. A lot of people were blessed. They've been rolling for years, making millions of dollars. And there's a lot of us who has not made millions. We ain't even made $100. And that's real talk. It does not mean that they aren't great musicians, but it just means that they haven't gotten into the clique to get paid, and they're suffering. And so what I want you to do is I want you to pray for the musicians of the world. And a lot of them have big trees, so it's a hard fall. Because if you got to pay $4 million a month in a spot you renting, but it don't make sense. See, a lot of people haven't been taught, and that's where Motown. That's where I was blessed when I met Mr. Holland, and he would share all of the business, how to do it, with me. And I only had like 2 really that I consider that, this was a funny one, but I let a dummy run the business. And when you're in love, girls, we go through this. Guys don't care. They be like, no, baby, you stay home. I'm going to negotiate this and I'll come back and holler, we party. But girls, we want to prove our love. We want to prove our love. Hey. Because we down with you, So I had this one opportunity where me and this cat daddy that I was with at the time, we was going to go in and we had already talked about it at home that what we was going to do was whatever the people said that they was going to give me to perform, I was cool with it. Because I had, income. So we get to the meeting and Cat Daddy started feeling himself, feeling like a big manager. And the person says, well, yeah, this is what we can. Oh, no, we can't take that. I said, yes, we can. So the person stopped immediately and said, when you 2 figure it out, contact me. And I was like, oh, boy. Really messed up on that. So I learned, you know what, you better try to take the helm because you can't prove love. Love is an action. It's like Jesus. You got to know it's there. You're trying to prove this, prove that. You better prove you can hit this tambourine town and prove you can reach the note. And that's what I want to tell you about. The blind musicians. I'm visually impaired. I'm not using this cane as a, what is that? I can't find it. But, no.
You're right.
But I'm saying, I know that. But I'm just saying, it's about the visually impaired musician. What about us? We really started like Mark. And then here you got a person that's made $10 million crying because you didn't say nothing. So on one hand, I'm saying, hey, you know what? You gotta stop living above your means. And if you had $10 million, you should have bought one spot and had a nice little young lady sitting off in there waiting for you when the tree fell. Quit being so selfish. And do your thing, man. But you know what? You can't come crying to us now because people like me, I'm living below my means. I'm never going to live above my means because guess what? You have one life. You ain't going to take none of that stuff. You accumulate. Look at all this stuff I'm accumulating. All this shit now. Somebody going to get it because I'm almost 60. So if I get 20, 30 more years, I'm blessed. So for me, it's not about accumulating more stuff. It's about enjoying the quality of the life that God has given you. And when you're young, stack them up with real estate. That's the only thing that's going to really benefit you, 13% a year. It has a 13-year collision, but you'll survive it if you go forward. And when if you get 2 or 3 million, buy something. Real estate. Don't buy no diamonds and stuff that you can fade. The appreciation value is just not there. You know, if you get a 20 carat rock, where you gonna wear it to? You're gonna have to have security on you. But if you get a $20 million building, holla, it just multiplies over and over, over and over. So all the game that you learned in the street, bring it to the real game. Bring it to real estate. I'm just telling, because I know y'all got stacks of money out there. You know? And I just want you to know, I want your success. Last note, I'd like to congratulate Shop Creations, ShopCreationz.com for throwing me this outfit. I'd like to thank God for LW3, Lawrence Williams 3, has his food catering. I'd like to give a shout out to Chef Boy RD over in the LV. Took care of me while I was there, smoking. The food just did mama good. And I'd like to holler at Wide Whippet, doing that hair, you know. They always hook me up. You know, Mom, I got something for you, some hair, some cherries, some something. I like to hook up. I like to congratulate all my young people. You know, Precious, doing your thing and getting that PhD. All of y'all doing your thing, you know? And God bless you. If I didn't call your name out, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. You know, when people get hungry, they forget for I need my time. This. A lot of people say they didn't, you know, people don't know that you're visually impaired. How could you listen? I use my right hand. I mean, come on, man. Listen to my music. It's Monday morning and I get my kids off to school because at that time, I had no kids. I was getting them off to school so I can get on access. I was rolling through somebody's hood. I was going to Altadena, Pasadena, Hollywood. I rolled down Melrose. It's all good. I ended up at 741 North Vermont. That is the Los Angeles Braille. You dig? And my music is catering to my life. So now I'm going into the love zone. You see? And I'm starting to create more music that is balanced. I have a tune called Post This. And Post This is like that reggaeton with that's with that Golden Lord. You feel me? Golden Lord put me up on that reggaeton 20 years ago. He was doing it. Calvin. His brother is one of the big rappers in New York. But he had that agua, the water, and was really, really, really doing this thing here in LA. And we hooked up, partnered up, and you know what's crazy too, guys, is in 1993, the reason I had these glasses on is because these were my glasses. I found them in there. They were all stretched out, I guess, after all of the stuff that was on it. But these was the glasses that I was running. You know, it was a real little thin then. Really so funny, huh? And I thank God, because if you look through, I have so many awards that I've gotten. I want to give back. I want to do more. I want to sell some records. You think Vine Records could be one of the largest record companies in the world? I believe it. My boy got 17 million on the ocean. He did that as an independent artist. Why do you think Prince bought Shaka Khan, Larry Brown's contracts? Because you have freedom of movement. I just want to encourage you, as a musician, do your thing. The world is waiting on you. You know, I'm gobbling up all the space I can't do it all, and I sure don't know how to do this technology, but I do know how to throw a party. And if you want to party with me, turn your mic on Tami Lyn Show. This is your girl. I'm out, going to get my tacos. Yummy, yummy for my tummy. One more thing, holla at my Aunt Georgette. Holla. Georgette, you always have been a real deal Holyfield. That's why my grandmama, you are the only one that I've ever seen in this like me, that I've ever seen my grandmother eat her food. Georgette, I love you, Auntie. Check this out. I love you. I'm down with you. Holla. And that's that, John, for real.